is a French class for standard 9. Last year we did all these tenses. In your 8th standard, you saw le présent, le passé composé, passé récent, le futur simple, et futur proche. So all these tenses were taught to you last year. So when do you use the present? When the thing is happening now. When do you use passé composé? When it happened in the past. The action is over. When do you use passé récent? When it has just happened. About 2 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. Recent past. When will you use future simple? When it's going to happen. It will happen. Tomorrow or day after. When will you use futur proche? When it's going to happen. Within a short time. Maybe in 10 minutes or half an hour. So all these tenses were taught to you. So today I am going to a new tense. It is l'imparfait. It's called l'imparfait. It's a past. Past continuous. So I will tell you what is continuous. Here we saw passé composé. And as I said earlier, the action is over. For example, I read the book. Here I was reading the book. Means the action is continuing. I read the book yesterday. This is different from I was reading the book yesterday. So here we will see how to form the imperfect of verbs first. Now, first of all, we'll tackle the regular families. For example, ER, IR and RE. These are your regular family verbs. ER verbs, IR verbs and RE verbs. Now, how do you form the imperfect? First and foremost, you have to take the present tense of that verb in the new form. For example, porter. Porter is to carry. It's a ER verb. What is the new form of porter in present tense? It is nous portons. If you remember. You cut off the ER and you add this ending. Which ending? ONS. Now, when we want to form the imperfect of that verb, we cut off the ONS from here, from the new form. And we add the endings like this. So, when we cut off the ONS, I will get only porte. So, it will become je porte AIS. You porte AIS. Il porte AIT. L is the same. Il and L is the same, as you know. Then nous porte IONS. Vous porte IEZ. And ils and else porte AIENT. So which are the new endings? When I say new endings, these are the new endings. AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. So, how do you form the imperfect? You take the present tense, new form. For example, ER verbs. Nous portons. Cut off the ONS and add these endings. AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Now, if we deal with the IR verb, what will be my IR verb? Finir, for example. So, it will be je finissons in present tense. So, when I cut off the ONS, what remains? Finis. So, in this case, it will be je finissais, tu finissais, il ou elle finissait. Then nous finissions, vous finissiez, il finissait. Again, these are my endings. AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. So what are we doing? We are taking the new form in the present tense of any verb in case of regular verbs. ER, IR and RE. And we are cutting off the ONS which we had added. Instead of ONS, we are adding AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. So you will have to learn the conjugation. Now, let me see what happens in the RE verbs. What will happen in the RE verbs? What will happen in the RE verbs? For example, vendre. Vendre is to sell. What were we doing? We were cutting off this RE and we were using ONS in no form. So now we'll cut off the ONS. We sell or we are selling. Now how will I say we were selling? I will cut off that ONS and I will add IONS, because as I said, these are the endings of the imperfect. AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IZ, AIET. So please, these are the endings of your imperfect. Learn them. When will you add those endings? After you have cut off the ONS from the present tense no form. Let me compare the two actions in past. Suppose I say, je portais une robe. What do I mean? I was wearing a dress. How will I say I wore the dress? I will use my passé composé. J'ai porté une robe. So what is the difference? Here the action is continuing. Here the action is over. I wore a dress. I was wearing a dress. Similarly, je finissais le devoir. And j'ai fini le devoir. What does this mean? In the first case, I was finishing the homework. In the second case, I finished the homework. Action is over. So when the action is over, you use passé composé. When the action is still continuing, you are talking of an action in the past. The action happens to continue. You use imperfect. How do you form the imperfect? You take the present tense new form, cut off the ONS and add AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Now one more thing. Imperfect is used when the action is continuing in the past and when it is a habit. For example, je lisais un livre. Lisais. Lisais is, lire is to read. What is the new form of lire? Lisons. So from that I have cut off the ONS and I am adding and the endings of imperfect. Je lisais un livre. I was reading a book. This can also mean I used to read a book. It's a habit. So imperfect is used in two cases. Once when the action was continuing in the past, and second time when the action happens to be a habit. Every day I used to read a book, then I will use imperfect. Have you understood? Or for example, je me promenais. What is promener? Is to take a walk. Je me promenais tous les matins means what? Tous les matins. Je promenais tous les matins means I used to take a walk every morning. So here I am talking about my habit. So imperfect, the use of imperfect in two cases, when the action is continuous in the past and when the action happens to be a habit. Now you have come across certain verbs where the new forms are different. For example, you know your manger and you know your commencer. Here we are talking of GR verbs and CR verbs. What do you do in the new form? If you remember your present tense, je mange, tu manges, il mange. Nous mangions. Do you remember this? You are adding a E. Vous mangez. Il mange. Now what is different in this new form? There is a E, extra E which we had added. This was an exception to the rule when we learned GR verbs. So, in my imperfect, the new form is very important. So, we'll have to consider this E. So, when I form the imperfect of manger, I will have to consider that E. So, it will be, I will cut off this ONS. Je, tu, il. So as we have seen, we have cut off the ONS from the new form and we have added AIS, retaining the E. We have retained the E which we had added to the new form. But where have we retained the E? Only in je, tu, il. In nu, we have again removed that E. In vous, we have again removed that E. And in il, we have retained the E. So, you please see where all the E has been retained. In these two forms, there is no E. Your IONS and IEZ is added soon after G. So, this is the exception to the rule. This is the exception to the rule. Now, which is the other verb which you had learnt along with manger? You had learnt commencer. It's a CER verb. What used to happen in that CER verb? If you remember, in the CER verb, just like in new form of GR, we are adding E. We are adding something to the CER verb. What is that? For example, commence. 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 E-E-S-E. Here what do? We add a cedilla. Commençons. Only in the new form we are adding the cedilla. No cedilla in vous form. No cedilla in il form. Do you remember? This we had learnt. Along with GR, I had taught you CER. In CER verbs, in the new form, we add a cedilla. So, what will happen to that verb now when we make the imperfect? when we make the imparfait of commencer, you will retain the cedilla. You will retain the cedilla in all the forms except nous and vous. For example, je commençais. Tu commençais. Il commençait. Nous, we are removing the cedilla here. No cedilla for C. Adding the endings of imparfait. I-O-N-S. Here also no cedilla. I-E-Z. Here again the cedilla comes back. So, just like manger, we are doing the same thing. In the nous form, we had added a cedilla. That cedilla we are retaining everywhere except nous and vous. So, these are the exceptions to the rule. You have to remember. GR verbs and CR verbs, we reverse the process. So, what do I mean when I say je commence? I mean I am starting. What do I mean when I say je commençais? I was starting or I used to start. You were starting, you used to start. He was starting, he used to start. We were starting, we used to start. You were starting, you used to start. They were starting, they used to start. Even a habit is denoted by imperfect. So this is known as the imperfect. Now, there is an exception to the rule. In our very first verb, which is être, which we learnt very much in the beginning, être is to be. Now, être is a irregular verb, and its imperfect also happens to be irregular. Do you remember your être? In your être, nous was sommes. In your present tense, nous sommes, we are. But here, we will not use this sommes to form the imperfect. Instead, we will say j'étais, tu étais, il était, and for the nous form, I will say nous étions, vous étiez, and ils étaient. So, if you see, we are adding the same endings. But to what are we adding them? There is no question of sommes here. We are just adding them to this et, which is the root. So, j'étais, tu étais, il était, nous étions, vous étiez, ils étaient. It means I was, I used to be. You were, you used to be. He was, he used to be. So, suppose I say, now let me give an example. What do I mean? J'étais jeune. Jeune means young. I was young. Okay? I was young. When I am using était, that is the imperfect, because being young, it was for quite some time. The action was not over. It was continuing for some time. So, j'étais jeune. J'étais jeune. Now, I'll give you another example. Il était pauvre. What does this mean? He was poor. He was poor. Now, he was poor for quite some time. It was not that he was poor and it was over. Here also in these cases we use imperfect imperfect because the action or whatever, it continues for quite some time. I was young and he was poor. So it was imperfect. So this is être happens to be the only verb where we don't use the new form of present tense. We use another root. But we add the same endings. Okay? Now, so we have seen what is imperfect. Now I will give you another tense which we are learning now, that is called plusquamperfect. It's called plusquamperfect. What is plusquamperfect? It is past which is over, long back. For example, if I say j'ai vu means I saw. If I say je voyais, I am using a imperfect here. I was seeing for some time. And this is my plusquamperfect where I am using the imperfect of the auxiliary. J'avais. Avoir. The imperfect of avoir. J'avais vu means I had seen. 10 years back I had seen. J'ai vu. Yesterday I saw. For 1 week I was seeing. This is your action in the past which is over recently. This is your action in the past which is over but long back I had seen. So what am I doing here? I am using the imperfect of auxiliary and the past participle of the given verb. Just like here I am using present tense of the auxiliary, past participle of the given verb. Your avoir is a imperfect form of avoir. We have taken it from avant. We have taken it from avant where I have cut off the ons and added the endings. So this is a composite verb. This also is a composite verb. Why do we call it composite? Because there is a auxiliary and past participle, auxiliary, past participle. So in your passé composé, you use the present tense of the auxiliary. In your plusquamperfect, PP stands for plusquamperfect. You are using the imperfect of the auxiliary and past participle of the given verb. So it's the same process, only instead of present you are using the imperfect. You already know how to form the imperfect. But there is a difference in meaning. Here also the action is over. Here also the action is over. But here it is recent past. For example, yesterday. Here it is 10 years back. And this happens to be continuous action or a habit. So we have seen 3 types of past. Plus I had taught you passé récent, which is recent past. There we use the verb venir, if you remember. Je viens de voir. Je viens de voir. I just saw. 2 minutes back I just saw. There we conjugate venir instead of voir. So right now you have learned passé composé, passé récent, imperfect. Today you learned imperfect and plusquamperfect. And we have seen the regular verbs, er, ir and re. Now, even for irregular verbs, it's the same story except for être. For être, we don't use no songs. We use nu with the et root and add the endings. Now I am telling you when more than one action happens in the past. For example, 2 actions are happening. Okay? Suppose I say, so what am I doing? Je dormais. I was sleeping. Quand elle est arrivée. When she came. actions are happening in the past, but they are happening simultaneously. Here I was sleeping when she came. She happens to come and I am sleeping. That is yesterday or day before. So I was sleeping when she came. So when two actions are happening simultaneously, one will be in imperfect, the other one will be in passé composé. So let's see another example. Okay? Il mangeait quand le portable a sonné. Now, il mangeait. He was eating when the mobile rang. Sonner is to ring. A sonner is rang. When the mobile, portable is mobile. He was eating when the mobile rang. So, he was in the process of eating when the mobile rang. So, here I am using imperfect and here I have used passé composé. Then I am giving you a third example. For example, I am using quand first. Quand je suis arrivé, il est parti. Quand je suis arrivé, il est parti. Means what? When I came, he left. Here simultaneous actions are taking place. I come and he leaves. So both places I am using passé composé. If you see, quand je suis arrivé, this is conjugated using être. This is also conjugated using être because they are intransitive. Quand je suis arrivé, il est parti. When I came, he left. Now, instead of he left, if I say il parte, then the meaning changes slightly. When I came, he was leaving. He was in the process of leaving and he left. So, depending on what the context is of the sentence, you have to use. You have to decide whether you will use passé composé or whether you will use imperfect. Now, suppose I say, il était parti quand je suis arrivé. Now here there's slight difference. Quand je suis arrivé, when I came. Il était parti, he had left. Means he had left long before I came. So you have seen three types of sentences when I am using passé composé and imparfait, passé composé and passé composé, and plus que parfait and passé composé. So here both the actions are in the past only. The actions are over. But this has happened long before this happens. So here I am using plus que parfait and here I am using passé composé.